Before establishing a sterile field, first note the sterility indicator on the sterile packaging and check it for punctures, tears, discoloration, and moisture. Then perform hand hygiene. If required by facility policy, put on a cap, mask, protective eyewear, and/or gown. Create a sterile field with a sterile linen-wrapped package. To begin, place it on a clean, flat, dry work surface above waist level. Open the outer layer as shown here. Use the opened package wrapper as the sterile field. Next, open the inner layer, starting by opening the outermost flap away from your body, keeping your arm outstretched and away from the sterile field. Grasp the outer edge of each of the side flaps and pull them to the side, allowing them to lie flat on the table surface. Finally, grasp outer edge of last innermost flap. Stand back away from the sterile package and pull flap back, allowing it to fall flat on the work surface. To set up a sterile field with a sterile drape, place the package on the work surface and open its outer wrapper as shown here. Now grasp the folded top edge of the drape with the fingertips of one hand. Remember that the side of the drape you touch at this point will be the non-sterile underside that is placed down against the work surface. Gently lift the drape from its wrapper without touching anything. Carefully discard the outer wrapper with your other hand. Plan to touch only the outer 1-inch border of the drape. Let the drape unfold, holding it away from your body and above your waist and the work surface. While holding the drape straight over the work surface, position its bottom half over the farthest half of the work surface. Let the top half of the sterile drape come to rest over the closest half of the work surface to establish a sterile field. It is important to remember that the outer 1 inch of the drape is considered contaminated and is not sterile. Then let the top half of the drape come to rest over the bottom half of the work surface to establish a sterile field. To maintain the sterile field, remember these principles. A sterile object remains sterile only if objects that touch it are also sterile. A sterile object becomes contaminated when touched by any non-sterile object. A sterile object held below your waist is considered contaminated. A sterile field becomes contaminated if moisture permeates the field. To help maintain the sterile field, avoid reaching across a sterile field, never turn your back on a sterile field, and never leave the room after the sterile field has been set up. Throughout the procedure, observe for any break in the sterile field. If a break occurs, set up a new sterile field.